Very good evening and welcome to CBC Business Outlook. Today we're going straight in focus once again. Yesterday we're looking at another issue that's concerning bars and well, not really disco, nightclub owners association and the challenges they're facing. Today is a special day because we're also looking at another serious issue that affects the economy as well as our day-to-day livelihoods, and that is electricity supply. And to help me actually discuss this issue, we have Mr. Well, not really Mr. Forgive me for that.
They're just titles, my brother.
Indeed. But allow me to say it again. Dr. John KUNDA. Indeed. Yeah. Dr. John, thank you so much. It's good to have you on our program.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Indeed,
yeah,
indeed.
I'm truly glad to be here.
Wonderful. Now, Dr. KUNDA is the Senior Manager of Corporate Affairs at ZESCO, and definitely is an important entity in our country, and it has contributed, I believe, to the economy. But quickly, Doc, help us understand what ZESCO is about today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. I'm truly happy to be here as you contribute, to enterprise in the media and to ensuring that our people are knowledgeable and understand a lot of facets of our socio-economic lives. ZESCO Limited is a corporation, that is mandated to generate, to transmit and distribute power. The power that our people enjoy. We are the nerve center of economic activities, social fibrage. We energize the country, and our mission, is to make it easy for people to live their lives. But at the same time, we are on target to attaining our vision of becoming the hub of power generation in the region. That's why we have invested massively now in interconnectors. These infrastructure that connects Zambia to the neighboring countries. Because the future for us is very bright in terms of becoming the hub, the central hub that can take power to our neighbors. So we will be the regional hub. Yeah, so what we have now is a minor setback.
It is.
Because the demand in Zambia will be met very soon. Yeah.
So does that mean we're not going to see issues like load shedding?
Definitely,
I don't know if you call it load management.
Load shedding, load management, my brother, I can assure you, you can mark it in your diary. Load management or load shedding is only a minor hiccup in the longer trajectory of development. Load management or load shedding is not an attempt to punish people. We are in the business of generating power and transmitting power. We sell power.
Indeed.
So it is counterintuitive or counterproductive not to produce and distribute the very product that you make money on. It's like you sell tomatoes, but you're not producing any tomatoes. It doesn't make any sense. So load shedding is a very strategic, responsible decision that ZESCO doesn't take lightly, but it's a decision that is made in order to manage the little resource that we have. As you might be aware, ZESCO doesn't manage, for example, the Kariba Dam. The Kariba Dam is managed by the Zambezi River Authority.
And how's that working? Well, how's that relationship?
So the relationship is that there's a tripartite agreement between the government of Zimbabwe and the government of the Republic of Zambia, as well as the other elements that work within the institution. So the Zambezi River Authority itself is mandated to manage the the Kariba Dam. So what they do is that they take stock of the amount of water that is available in a given season, and then they give you the live storage, because it's not all the water that is in the Kariba that you can use for power generation. There's what they call live storage. So then they allocate half to ZESA in Zimbabwe and half is allocated to Zambia. This year we were allocated 11.5 billion cubic meters of water to use for power generation. They cannot give us more because they've projected. We don't know what may happen next year. We don't know what will happen in the next rainy season. In case we have a drought, we want to make sure that we are backed up. The Kariba Dam is big. You know that the lake itself is about 280 kilometers in one way and about almost 40 kilometers in width. It's about 100 meters of depth. So it's like driving from Lusaka to almost in dollar,
yes.
or driving from Lusaka to Choma, or driving from Lusaka to Kacholola. That's how big it is. So Zambezi River Authority allocates us water. That is what we use, and we can only generate about 275 megawatts of power for now.
Okay, is that because of the restriction of the water supply, or?
Yeah, it is because of the amount of water that is available for power generation. So they are very careful now how much they allocate you. So now we know that as we are moving forward, we are not banking on the Kariba Dam so much, because we know that we have the Kafue Gorge Upper and the Kafue Gorge Lower. The Kafue Gorge Upper gives us about 990 megawatts. The one that we are going to inaugurate this year, and the first machine should have kicked in April, but due to the disturbances in the supply chain, we've seen a delay. But once we kick in 750 megawatts of power, load shedding is going to become a rumor.
Is that
absolutely, my brother?
You seem very confident.
I am very confident. I stick to facts.
Okay, I'd like to write.
I'm a scientist, so
I will hold you to your word.
Please do.
Indeed.
Please
so
do.
you say we're expecting at least 750.
We are expecting 750 megawatts of power to be injected into the national grid. That is all conditions being equal. The Kafue Gorge Lower, which is about $2.3 billion investment. The first machine should have kicked in April. It should be the first machine should kick in maybe now, to be on a conservative side, in November. The total power that will be injected will be about 750 megawatts of power.
Okay.
We're not even talking about Lusiwasi Upper or Lusiwasi Lower. We're not talking about the small hydros. We're talking about the bigger investments.
Indeed.
And moving forward, we are also envisioning the Batoka Hydro, which is going to cost about 4 billion. That is going to inject over 2,000 megawatts. So we are saying we are on course. We are going to meet the local demand. That is not in doubt.
Okay.
That is a fact.
Wonderful.
We are now focusing on looking at the region as the possible market.
Is ZESCO also looking to find alternative sources of energy?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I know you've utilized a lot of hydroelectric power.
Yes, yes. We
maybe
have,
a few other resources.
Solar.
What else are you looking to?
Solar.
Solar?
Yeah, we've just, in the last about 3 weeks, we announced 600 megawatts of power that will be injected through Power China that we are working with as our partners. That's not alone. Sinkongole AI.
Okay.
This is where we partner with, partners, various cooperating partners, and they are going to engineer. They are going to build, and they are going to finance it. And then we enter into agreements on how that will be injected into the national grid. That's a kind of agreement that we have. So we have solar. We have a number of other solar plants that are dotted around the country. For example, we have some in the economic zone, the South Economic Zone, Multi-Facility Economic Zone, and other, plants that are dotted of over 700 megawatts of power.
Wonderful.
But then solar has its own Achilles heel. It has its own weaknesses in terms of battery storage. But what we can assure you is with this energy mix, complemented by, complementing hydro, as well as, thermal would be a good investment. It's very expensive as well. Nuclear is another alternative, but we're not yet there. But we can assure you that hydro is one. And then we are also understanding the geographical and climatic shifts.
I'm glad you've touched on nuclear energy.
And that's why we are moving towards the northern side. Luapula Hydro, $3 billion US dollars is another investment because they have some good rainfall on the other side from the Congo River and the Luapula River. So I think we are on course to becoming the regional hub for electricity.
Okay. Nuclear energy, wind energy. Have you set any plans?
Those are studies that are ongoing. Those are areas that are being investigated and being looked at, because what you want is to optimize. Even the energy mix. It's not everything that you can do at one go. You need to carry out feasibility studies. And once some of those are promising, like we've done for the Batoka and the Luapula, those are clear, and the cost-benefit analysis looks very good. That's why we managed to go into those areas. And our team of engineers, ZESCO, contrary to popular perception sometimes, people want to label guys in Mamakadas. We have a cream of engineers at ZESCO.
So we don't have cadres at ZESCO.
My brother, I'm telling you that I don't know what people define a cadre to be. But the guys that we have, the MD himself has been in ZESCO from the tender ages of his engineering career to date. So it's not like he fell from somewhere. No. The engineer in charge of generation has been with ZESCO for donkey years. The guys who are working there are people who breathe electricity, generation, transmission, and distribution, and they understand the system.
Now that you've mentioned that issue, there's been an outcry by the general public. Concerning, I'm sure you know where I'm going.
Depletion of
yes, electricity. You know, most people are complaining, saying, you know, they buy units today. Because everybody's working on a tight budget, especially with the COVID-19 situation. This is where most of them have seen it. You know, most clients have observed that they're running short of electricity faster than normal. I had a complaint from one close friend who says they've been consuming electricity almost the same way through and through, and just a few
meaning they are no load shedding.
Well, with or without load shedding, they consume the same way, but their consumption levels have escalated, suddenly changed, but they're spending the same amount of money. How do you explain that?
Let's look at facts, right? What are the variables here? The consistent variables would be the meter. No one can tamper with that meter. It's a standalone gadget that is installed in your property, right? It is not centrally controlled. The meter is an independent one-way channel. It's not a smart meter like a phone, where you can, for example, if you go into the network, you can hack into it and change it. Those are factory calibrated, 99.9 efficiency levels, and they are tested and installed in your property. We can't tell when the meter malfunctions in your property. You have to call us. Then we send a team to come in and inspect. Even if it develops a fault, we can't control it from remotely. It's not possible. So we rule out that someone can tamper with your meter remotely. No, unless someone really comes and visits your property and breaks that meter, most likely they're just going to destroy it. Because you can't recalibrate that meter. It's the way it is made. It's a very efficient engineering tool or equipment that is there. So that doesn't change. So that is out. The units. If you buy 100 units.
You know it's coming that way.
If you buy 100 units, my brother, it is 100 units. So for example, if in your meter, you're remaining with 50 units, and you buy 100, as you load in, you must see the addition. You must see the 150 reflecting, right? So at what point are you manipulating the units? Because if you go and pay for 7 kwacha, in the first month, they give you 100 units, right? If you go and load them in, they just add to the balance. There is no way you can manipulate.
But are there any charges? What charges do we are incurred? For example, I believe there's tax. There's a
tax component
there. There's also a TV levy component.
No, TV was removed. It was removed. Yes.
Are there any other levies in there?
No, there are no other levies. It's a very simple tariff structure, and what you pay is available even on the ERB website. It's advertised. It's in the public domain. So there's no one who has changed the tariff. The one that was announced on 1st January is the same tariff that we have today. So for example, when you buy the first 100 units in a month, you are buying per unit at 47 ingwe. That's why if you take so it's 47 kwacha for the first 100. Then you add the tax. That's how it becomes 56 kwacha. Right?
Yes.
That's for the first 100. Then any other, moving into the next 200 units, you are buying at 85 ingwe per unit. Then the next band, the more you use, the more you're going to pay. Then you go to 1 kwacha, 94 ingwe.
Is that the second week?
That is the third one. No. Even if you buy at one go, you pay 1,000 kwacha. It will be split. Right? You get the same amount of units. So if you pay 1,000 kwacha, they'll break it down. Right? Boom! The first 100 units are charged at 47 ingwe per unit.
Just the first
within the same 1,000 kwacha. Then the second, anything above 100 units to 200 units within the same 1,000 kwacha are charged at 85 ingwe. Then whatever remains on top there, the money that remains on top there is charged at 1 kwacha, 94 ingwe. So you get about 600 something units in the 1,000 kwacha.
Interesting.
Right? So if you go and pay today, boom, 100 kwacha, you get 143 units.
143 units.
Yes, for 100 kwacha for the first time you buy in the month. So meaning that the first 100 is charged at 47 ingwe. Then the remainder The 43 units that you get is charged at 85 ingwe. That's how it works. And people now, I want people to understand, the meter has not changed, the tariff has not changed. What has changed? We started hearing these complaints, my brother, end of May and beginning of June. That's when people say, this is the time that we slightly reduced on load shedding. So if you were spending, in the 12 hours of load shedding, you were spending 300 kwacha.
Yes.
With load shedding reducing to even 8 hours, don't expect to spend the same 300 kwacha.
So the consumption increases.
It does, yeah, it does. Then it's cold. Someone just called me when I was driving here. He says, why have you switched off power? In a heater, yazima. The heater, my brother, consumes.
It does.
Right? The stove consumes. The geyser consumes. The laptop consumes. The phone consumes. People sometimes don't understand that even if you put your gadgets on standby, they consume energy.
They always do.
An example would be a MacBook Pro. My MacBook Pro, in 8 hours of charging it, would drain about 3 cents worth of money.
And that is a lot of energy.
That is a lot of energy. And it's the more you use, the more you find yourself spending. That's why you've traveled, my brother, and you would see that if you go into certain hotels or other places, whether in Europe or the States or South Africa, when you enter a hotel room, they give you a card.
Yes.
You slot a card into a particular switch.
Yes.
That's when you can turn on the lights. As you are leaving, you pull it out, everything is off. Why are they doing that? They are saving energy. I use gas now, I don't use a stove.
Indeed.
And with my geyser, I make sure I control because I feed it in the pocket.
So are you encouraging the public to use alternative?
Yes, we're encouraging them to use gas. Let them use these bulbs that are, like LEDs, light emitting diodes, energy savers. Those are good. They will save your power and you see a drastic reduction. But ingati using above maybe mayaka yero vija mdaro kangena munyumba uchitomvera mungani mustovu.
It can't work.
You're not going to feel the pain of the heat, but you're going to feel the pain of the pocket. Because you find that electricity simply seems to disappear. But if you conserve, the other test that people can do is switch off power from where it enters your home, per dB patch. Switch off from there. And watch your meter. It won't run. The moment you switch on, and you switch on just a stove, then go and check your meter.
You will notice the difference.
You will notice the difference. Switch off the stove and just switch on the lighting, you will notice the difference. That's how it works, my brother.
I know we're short of time, but definitely we're going to have the doctor again pretty soon. But also, don't forget, the comments welcome. You can actually inbox MySpace, or you can inbox us on CBC Television as we get to prepare to have Dr. John Kunda again pretty soon. We'll not tell you when, but it could be this week, could be next week. But please feel free to actually post on our Facebook page, CBC Television Zambia, as well as the ZESCO page. How do we communicate with ZESCO? People who still have complaints, do we call you directly or do we call management?
So ZESCO has a call center, very clear, and one of the biggest call centers. But also we've developed an app. You just download it from Apple Store, or you can download the app from Play Store.
Yes.
And that's our app. You can report your faults via the app. And so our clients can simply download the app. You can report a fault and it will give you an automatic complaint number. And then you can track your fault. You can view your prepaid tokens. So sometimes you don't even need to pick up your phone. You simply need to download the app and report. And you'll see that your issue will be attended to and you'll be given progress. And then you can go to our Facebook page as well. You can write us an email. The email address is actually on our website, which is zesco@zesco.co.zm. And we'll be able to attend to your needs. Our customers are a key partner. They can help us reduce load shedding if only they reduce the demand. If they practice switching off what they are not using, the appliances that are not using. Why would you have your light in the bathroom on when there is no one? Why would you have the security lights on during the day? So if you really people can switch off power, Mapenza manause mda.
Okay, now his Tonga. I don't know. I've never met a Kunda who's Tonga today. Interesting. Dr. Kunda, thank you so much for
pleasure is mine.
Today. We hope to host you again.
I'll come soon to discuss CEC.
Definitely, definitely. We're about to hit on that one. And soon, CEC, do look out. We're talking about you next time. But definitely, we shall have you on again. Dr. Kunda, thank you so much.
My
Senior
brother,
Manager in
this.
Corporate Affairs, I believe. Yes, that's for ZESCO. I'm Jimmy KNASHA, but don't forget that we are still fighting COVID-19, and do stay COVID-free, and also save a life. At least wear a face mask every time. Please do not imitate what we're doing here. We're actually maintaining a distance. You see, he's actually maintaining a mask. I equally have my own mask, and yeah,
this
you see,
one. Yeah, so I'll be wearing it.
That's a COVID-safe person right there.
Looking nice, right?
Yes, indeed.
So we need to protect ourselves.
We
Err on the side of caution.
Indeed. We'll be talking a bit more next time with Dr. Kunda, but do join us tomorrow, same time, same place, as we talk more on, well, bars and nightclubs again. All right? From here, it's good night. God bless. I am Jimmy KNASHA.